Hello again, nuggets of wisdom coming at you again. Topic today, ignoring the past would jeopardize your future. Let's get it. Welcome back. Wiley, please like, share, hit the notification bell for new content. My brothers, ignoring the past will jeopardize the future. I got something to say about that. Nobody says you should stay in the past. Nobody says you should hold your past hostage. I don't say that you should live in the past. I'm not saying that your past you should not remember your past. What you cannot do is ignore your past. There are things that has happened in your past that if you ignore will show up again. I've seen that to be true. And as simple as this advice is, a lot of us are ignorant or ignoring the past. And we want a different future. Anything that's happened to you has happened before. I am not saying life cannot happen. I am not saying things cannot change in a bad, in a positive or a negative way. But what I'm saying is that you cannot ignore the obvious. If you know that you are a recovering alcoholic, if you know that you know your triggers, if you know certain places, people or things trigger you, you cannot ignore it. You came out of it. You were saved. You had testimony. You wrote books on it. You cannot ignore your past. Because what's going to do is going to jeopardize your future. And folks think I'm strong enough. I'm powerful enough. I can deal with it. It never triggers me. You know what triggers you. You know your past. You know your history. Why do you ignore it? Why do you keep on going and stop doing the things that you know will keep you on the right track? I'm not saying it's easy. Right? I am not saying it's easy at all. But one thing I'm going to tell you is that at some point, myself included, we can't keep on repeating obvious mistakes. It's not even a mistake anymore. It's now become a pattern. It is right in your faces. Right? It is right in your life and you know it. Don't ignore it. Don't ignore it at all. Don't do it. You have a whole future ahead of you. And you're going to mess it up by your past. There are triggers in our lives. There are people that take you there. And you have to also be very careful. Be careful of people that want to keep you in the past, that want to remind you of your past. They want to remind you how you used to be. They want to take you back to your past. What you need to do is acknowledge the past, but don't dwell on it. Acknowledge the past, but don't stay there. You have to find ways, tricks, purposes, things that will fill in, that you don't go back like a dog going back to his vomit. Some men know particular women that trigger them. I don't know why I'm using the word trigger today. They know where they used to go. They know what happens. They know that kind, and you know that kind to be true, that every time that happens to you, that it takes you down. Be very careful, my people. Do not ignore the past. Because as we're growing older, this thing is getting old. It's getting old for me to continually be in the same state over and over and over again. It's becoming a point whereby it's making no sense. I want you to really understand that. You want consistent, everybody in their life need consistent, long-term, after a period of time, progress. You may have fall flat on your face in the past. How do I continue doing this so I can be successful at what I'm doing? At some point, we need sustained success. At some point, we need to break down barriers that have been holding us back. We need to destroy cycles over and over again that has not served us well. I'm not saying it's easy, because sometimes we like what we like, but what we like is no longer serving us. It's time to let it go. It's time to let it go. We can't do this anymore. 2023, we got to move forward. We can't hold ourselves back. It's not working for us. There's no return on investment in ignoring the past. Let's do better. I finished with this quote. I came across this quote, which I think is very simple. Those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it. You will see folks who were once poor. They had no money. Life was hard. They knew what they did to get out of the hood, to get better. But all of a sudden, I'm not talking about these people who are young and 20-year-old, probably just came into money and they didn't have anybody to mind their money and they were too much too soon. I understand that. It still doesn't know an excuse, but it is what it is. Life happens. I'm talking about grown folk. Those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it. If you cannot remember, I don't want to live a life of history and say, I remember back in the day when I used to do this. Back in the day when I used to do that. No, I don't want to. I cannot. Those who cannot remember, I want to remember my past so it does not jeopardize my future. Give you one more quote. I think it's Winston Churchill. Those who do not look at history are doomed to repeat it. Winston Churchill. My brothers, my sisters, man. I want us to do better. Do not ignore your past. It says that I'm saying the same over and over again. Is that all I said? I wanted to resonate in your mind. I wanted to register in your mind. Especially things you know in your mind that has taken you down in the past. I'm not going to go over and over the things that you need to do. You need to find vices, separate yourself from people, separate yourself from places, separate yourself from things, separate yourself from triggers. My brothers, my sisters, ignoring the past will jeopardize your future. My mom used to say, a word is enough for the wise. Choose wisely. Always again, nuggets of wisdom. I'm out.